Monday morning, man.
I'm on phone. I call your home. Just a fucking short. I just went out my door.
How's everybody doing on a Monday morning? Yo, I know you home.
I know you're home, baby.
Lit, straight up. All right, yes, sir. This is Ghost Trader, aka Tank from the Matrix, coming at you again live with another daily market breakdown for today, which is Monday, September the 19th of 2022. So yes, everybody, I'm gonna make it a real quick video today. It's kind of a sleepy Monday. I mean, as you can see, the volume is pretty low on the SPY. It was a pretty uneventful morning in the markets. I don't want to sit here and overcomplicate the issue. And like I said, I do want to make a quick video, but we'll go ahead and start with the overall SPY daily chart, and we'll get into some of the individual names. So basically, as you can see, it is slightly a green day, bouncing off the same low of the day from Friday, which was around 382 area. As you can see, we were holding this support level for the past few weeks, and then we went ahead and lost it on Friday on the gap down, and we went ahead and lost it. However, if you back up a little bit, that's a little bit too far back. If you back up to the 1 year view, you can see that there's another support level right below us now, around the 380 area, 381 area, that was established back in mid-July, July 15th and the 16th, or 15th and the 18th, Friday and Monday. So I believe that's going to be our next level of support we're looking to test. As of today, we went ahead and bounced off the low of the day from yesterday, 382. But like I said, right below that, there is another level of support here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on the SPY big picture right now. Some individual names. Today, I was actually going over in the pre-market. I noticed it was kind of a slow pre-market. There wasn't too much movement, not too much volume coming into any names in the pre-market. So I really wasn't expecting it to be a premium session. I was expecting probably a semi-premium session at best. I was watching like Tesla, AMD, Microsoft primarily. Then I had like NVIDIA, some other beta names, NVIDIA, RBLX, PayPal. I'll go over them in a few, but there was really no earnings today. The only one was AutoZone, AZO. I just going to go over that first, just to get it out of the way. We had AutoZone did have earnings today, the only major earnings name. I didn't trade this. I mean, it's too thin. It's a $2,200 stock, but I guess it did. The conference call was here at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, and I guess it was a little bit of a negative reaction. Nothing to write home about though. Not a major move. So that was the only earnings of the day. AutoZone, AZO. Other than that, like I said, I was watching some beta names. Not many names are moving pre-market. So let's just go over and see how the day went ahead and got started. At the open, SPY was very strong at the open, as you can see. Some volume coming in, actually meeting my threshold and surpassing it, and then going ahead and meeting it. And then actually, I noticed some weird volume spikes, like as you can see, with no news to really justify it. Like around 9:40, there was no news coming out at this time, but drastic volume spikes, as you can see, well over my threshold. Like I don't know what happened at this candle, the highest volume of the day, as well as these candles. So the volume, and SPY would be strong. You would think that most of the beta names would be following suit, right? However, that's not the case. You see RBLX selling off. You see Microsoft choppy. You see mRNA. So yeah, mRNA was probably the biggest move today. mRNA selling off. You see, I mean, some of the beta names are following suit. However, it's choppy. Let's go to all the betas. You see Apple following suit. Google not choppy. You see, so not all the beta names are really following suit. Facebook choppy. SQ selling off. So not all the Roku selling off. And then look at the SPY. SPY, very strong. So not all the beta names are following the SPY, although it was strong and with some volume, but I noticed not all the beta names were following. So what I was watching, like I said, my primary watch was Tesla. I saw a sneaky pivot right here around 304 area. And my other primary watch was NVIDIA and Microsoft. I was watching NVIDIA. Tesla, I was watching it long or short. I seen two sneaky pivots here. NVIDIA, I was watching it primarily to the long side. As you can see, it did crack the pivot here. I'll go over. I took a trade on it with some call options. I'll go over that briefly. And with Microsoft, I was watching it primarily to the short side, never did crack the pivot. So let's just go over some individual names. Oh, sorry about that. Let's just go over some individual names briefly, and then I'll go ahead and wrap up the video. Because like I said, it's going to be a pretty quick video, and I have a final thought of the day as well to wrap up the video with. So just starting off with Tesla. Let's go start off with Tesla. As you can see, sometimes I watch the sneaky pivots on Tesla. I've mentioned that in previous videos. What I mean by sneaky pivot is a pivot on 60-minute chart or the 1 hour hourly chart. So basically what that means is similar to here. As you can see, it rejected this level around 304. I believe that was Friday pre-market. And then again today pre-market. So it's been rejecting this level. And like I say, it's sneaky. It's sneaky. Like it's kind of testing these levels in the pre-market session, as you can see. Well, this and then this sneaky. These aren't major daily pivot levels, but they're sneaky pivots. And with Tesla, as you can see, it does react to these. I've mentioned this in past videos. I don't want to beat a dead horse on this, but I basically, long story short, I did see a level here at 304, and I saw another level here at around 298 area. I was watching short over this level, long over this level, and short below this level. So Tesla. So it does it tests the short pivot level, but never offers second entry right here. So no trigger. It tests this level long here, and it does offer second entry here. However, look how choppy this action is, guys. Look how choppy. I never traded this. I never actually traded it, although it did offer a trigger. I wasn't confident enough to take a trade on this because I was seeing choppy action across the board. And NVIDIA actually, maybe I should have gone over NVIDIA first. NVIDIA actually cracked first, and I was already in NVIDIA at the time when this cracked with call options, and I could see that NVIDIA wasn't really panning out to be a strong move like we look for, like we want to see on a very premium move. So when I saw that information, it made me very hesitant to take any other trades really at all. I kind of already started to see that this probably wasn't going to be a premium session, and again the action had panned out and proved that to be correct. So basically, as you can see, yes, it did crack. However, it just got very choppy, and it did work later on. But this isn't really a move that I believe. I mean, if you can trade this, good luck. But it's very difficult to trade this. Like, where are you going to get in? Where are you going to get out? Where's your level of risk going to be? It's very difficult. So, and then I guess we can look. It did have some clean. I mean, there was some 60-minute. There was no resistance on the daily chart, and the daily chart was clean here, and even the 60-minute chart was clean. However, like I said, this wasn't really a major daily pivot. It was more of a sneaky pivot, and the action across the board was a little bit choppy. So I was hesitant with that. Let's just go with NVIDIA now, because that's the only name that I actually did trade. And it will be a good example of exactly similar move to Tesla, as you can see what I was saying. So with NVIDIA, I'll just go over it on the daily chart as well. I was watching this pivot level here on NVIDIA on the daily chart. As you can see, this was more of a daily pivot. It's still not perfect, but still more. It rejected it here on the 15th of September once around this 132 area. And then it tried to test this 132 area again on Friday, but it ended up being pretty much the high of the day. As you can see, like 132, this 132 area ended up being the high of the day. So obviously this is a supply zone here, where there is some supply coming in here on the daily chart. It is a daily pivot level. So I was watching the video over that, and especially as you can see, NVIDIA has been very oversold. There's been some negative news out on it recently with sanctions in China. They have some problems selling their product in China. So there is some negative news driving the stock down. Some real material news. However, it's still NVIDIA, one of the largest semiconductor companies in the world, a highly profitable company. They basically print money to the tune of multiple billions per year in profit. So, eventually it will bounce back. And when it does, the long trade will be very potent and very good setup because it's so oversold. So I was definitely, that's what I was watching on NVIDIA, but to the long side. It wasn't 100% clean. Like I said, it did have some resistance here on the hourly chart. It did have Bollinger, I call it Bollinger Band resistance, as well as the 100 hourly moving average here, as well as it did actually, the major one was this resistance here, which was the 5 EMA. I believe it was EMA. Yeah, the 5 actually, EMA on the daily chart. So that's why this move wasn't 100% clean. So basically, with that being said, and that's actually what this little level is here. You see this little level here. That was actually the 5 EMA on the daily chart. I had put it in to go ahead and to remind myself that it was there. So basically, like I said, I did see it crack the pivot here. It did trigger trigger second entry here. However, I didn't really want to get in. I didn't want to chase and get in here, due to the fact that, like I said, it was choppy. There was still some resistance, and just in general with NVIDIA, it almost always pulls back. It almost always retraces and offers multiple entries and chances to get in. So that's what my plan was on NVIDIA. I wanted it to crack and then retrace, and I was looking to get in. Basically, like, this would have been a really good entry. I was looking to get in somewhere like this, and basically benefit from the pullbacks and an increased move. So basically, with that being said, I did actually get in with good entry here, but as you can see, it got very choppy and still didn't really pan out. It's still, if you're gonna hold below VWAP, most people would have stopped out here, including myself. However, with the good entry, and it did work later on, like as you similar to Tesla, like how are you going to trade this action? This is not a premium move. So yes, but I did give it a chance by getting in with a good entry, close to my risk level. So basically, I'll just show you guys what I did with it. So on the call options, right, like, and as you can see, it cracked the pivot around what time? It cracked the pivot at it says 632. And then 633, 633, 634, it offers a second entry, pulls back again around 635 and starts doing these pullback moves. So what I did, I went ahead and got in around 639 into one of the pullbacks. This was the 639 pullback. I got into this pullback here, risking. I was risking kind of off VWAP or risking off 32 area, or VWAP. But I was basically getting in with an extremely tight risk, trying to buy a dip here and get in with a good entry. So that's really what I did. As you can see, it was up at 385. But this is an NVDA weekly call option, the 135 weekly call. It dips down. It reaches high of the day at 385 per contract. It dips down all the way to 330, and I get in here with a good entry. As you can see, my entry was good. It spikes up again all the way to I could have taken profit on this all the way to 350, 360. But what I'm waiting for is NVIDIA to make a high of the day and then to go higher. And when NVIDIA runs, it runs like $5-10 a day or more. Just a little $1 move is not really a good move on NVIDIA. Like it could have easily gone much higher. So that's what I was waiting as it did later on. But so basically, long story short, if you get in with a good entry like this, as you can see, even if it chops around, like it's get tested. But even here, I'm not really in the red. I'm still close to break even. So if I had chased up here, gotten in at 350, if I had chased up here, I would have been taking heat on the position. But since I waited for a pullback and got in with a good entry, then based on source, that's going to be my my main thought of the day. My main thought of the day is that when you get a good entry, it lets you weather the storm. All right. When you get a good entry, it allows you to weather the storm. All right. When I say the storm, I mean this. This is a storm, guys. This is not a good move. This is a storm. Many people lost money on this. Many people stopped out on this. However, I lost $15 on a basically break-even free trade. I lost the spread, but I barely lost any money on this. Although I could have lost, I could have lost 50. I could have lost even a couple, more than $100 on this if I traded it wrong. But I lost, less than $20 because basically a break-even trade. Because I got in with a good entry, and even though it chops around here, I'm not feeling any pressure because I'm not in the red. It's still break-even. And yes, I could have taken profit, but I had the luxury of waiting. And then now I see at this time it's around 645, 647. I see it starting to lose VWAP here. You see what I'm saying? It's losing VWAP. It's not. It's testing. Now this is a double top, triple top. There's clear resistance up here. Now the setup is no longer looking like a good setup. It's looking like it's pretty much broken. And once it loses VWAP, it's definitely broken. You can't hold through this. So basically, that's when it does. I get out. I get out for a small, a little bit of the spread. And it's a 10-cent spread, so I lose a little bit. And honestly, I feel I got out a little bit late. I could already see this was starting to fail. I should have gotten out earlier, and I could have gotten out even with a small win or really break even. But like I said, I took a paper cut loss on it, and that's it. It wasn't a premium session, but I still gave it a chance. Still put my money into play. Put my money and put a risk on the table, but with very minimal risk, and was able to leverage my money with very minimal risk. So that's pretty much I kind of can end it there. That's pretty much. Oh yeah, I'll go over a couple more names too. So with Microsoft, like I said, I was watching to the short side, but it never did crack. It got choppy. We can just continue with AMD. I was watching AMD to either way, but it stayed in a tight range. It never cracked either one of the pivots. It never cracked, and it never offered entry. Apple, I wasn't really watching it. I don't really see any entries on any pivots on Apple. And like I said, a lot of these names, even if they did go long, they were choppy and just not clean moves. Look at Amazon. That's choppy. It's choppy. Anything else? Oh yeah, and the one move I did see that was really good, and I was watching it, I was watching mRNA. That's pretty much it. mRNA was mainly the only one from the list and I believe, I'm not sure if it had some news or what, but I was watching it below this pivot level, as you can see, below around 134 area. As you can see, it did crack. It didn't really offer too much. It moved very, very fast. It was very, it must be, yes, it was some news today on mRNA. It says Moderna provides vaccine for clinical studies. I don't know. It doesn't look like any major news, but I don't think that this sell-off was a reaction to any of the news. Actually, now that I look at the news, this is just a sell-off on relative, medium volume. But yes, mRNA, it was a very good $10 sell-off. that you could have profited from. I didn't trade this. I didn't catch it. I was watching other names, but obviously in hindsight, I wish I did. This seems to be the major move of the day. But honestly, if the best move of the day is Moderna, that's not a premium testing. Now Tesla is continuing to go, but I don't know. It's tough to trust now. Now it's very overbought. It's already up $10 on the day. I mean, it could, and this is a major pivot. It could keep going, but I don't know. We'll see. So I'm pretty much gonna end it there. Like I said, I didn't get to make a video on Friday because me and my wife are actually traveling this week. So I just wanted to get something out today and get a video out. Just go over, check in for the 19th of September for the Monday. Hope everybody has best of luck in the markets today.